Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to make a quick video about homelessness and kind of the state of kind of where I see things going. And I see things kind of progressing as like almost the streets becoming a system of like accepted in the way where people kind of turn away and it's routine and they're desensitized to it, of like open euthanasia basically. There's no way really for these people who are unhoused, homeless, whatever, to find their way back up at a certain point. At a certain point, they cross the point of no return and you really can't come back when you're bent over and your spine is like T-Rex because you've been leaning and you've been walking like 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles a day. And it's just become a point where dealers are basically openly doing it, selling to people with very little repercussion risk. And we've built almost like a culture that revolves around like gangsterism and promoting movies like Goodfellas, Casino, and rap music, and they're good forms of entertainment, but it's kind of a piece of the puzzle of like the money worship we really have. And I think a lot of people are siding with dealers as like, this person's just trying to get ahead, or they're a businessman and the other guy's, low on the ladder, can't look after himself. We don't need him. Helping him is going to be inflation. Like, I think a lot of people are becoming very tired of seeing like businesses vandalized to the point where they actually want to see these people go away. And people are siding with the dealers subconsciously, I believe, in part because of kind of the hustle culture we have and the money worship we have, and the music. It's all about making money at any cost and promoting, selling hard drugs, killing people, movies. It's everywhere. There's no real huge Christian rapper. Kanye West came the closest, but people have stigmatized him and now he means something else. I'm not saying I support or don't support him. He has a message. It's in there. He's definitely said some aggressive things that some people don't like, but he was basically accusing Jewish executives of promoting the said culture that I'm talking about. I'll leave it there. But I'm not saying it's only rap. I'm not saying it's only movies. I'm saying it's the culture as a whole. I'm not saying that it's any group of people either, just to make that clear, because I brought up the Kanye reference. I don't want to have that misunderstood. But we do have a culture where people are just desensitized to the fact that we do live in a survival of the fittest society. And it might not even just be societal. It might just be human nature. When somebody falls out that hard that they can't come back. That's not what Christianity teaches, which our societies were built upon. And it does seem like there is a revolving door of not getting any real support for these people. And I have no solutions to this, but I see it getting worse. And I see basically if you make a wrong turn now, you end up on the street, you're going to be preyed upon. Someone's going to give you something, act like your friend. You're going to think that it's going to help you, and you're not going to be here anymore. And we have, medical assisted suicide now in the news, being talked about, people being forcibly restrained, put into asylums. If you put those two together, you can get your own conclusion there. I think we're at a point where things are going to get really competitive to not face that amount of consequences. With rising food prices, homeless shelters are barely even able to function. It's going to get to the point where you're going to be getting punched in the face at like a job line to get the interview. It's going to be actual Great Depression level poverty, struggle, and I guess oversight and abuses coming pretty soon. I think that's the result of China overtaking the West in a large degree. China was originally where we are 100 years ago. They were all addicted to opiates. And America and England and Australia, Canada all had manufacturing. And it Uno reversed. They took the century of and they Uno reversed it on us. And I can't see, no one's coming to save you is probably the best thing someone told me. Also the gym, staying at the gym, trying to work out instead of being on the streets saved me. But we have a lot of isolated people with nowhere to go, and I'm quite isolated. Everyone listening to this is probably half of you are isolated. That's another problem. And it's one wrong turn and you're basically going to be put to death on the street, and people are going to think that it's your fault. They're going to point blame at you, that you couldn't keep up, or you weren't enough, or you were an asshole maybe, and that's why you're on the street, or you're too far gone. And some dealer is going to come along and he's going to pump you up, and he's going to get maybe a year or two out of you, making a couple $100 off your head a week or whatever it is. And you're just going to lose your lifeblood, and you're going to go and you're not going to come back. And I see that happening to a lot of people, and I've seen it happen to a lot of my friends that I went to high school with, who fell in with either the wrong people or they got fired from a job. I had one friend, his parents were actually quite wealthy, and they kicked him out when he was 18. He got a job washing dishes at a kitchen. I don't know if he was a problem. I don't know him that well because he passed away 10 years ago, but he wound up getting fired or quit or had a mental health break or whatever. Wound up on the street. He was on all kinds of shit. He was cutting holes in his legs. He's like trying to slit the veins, suicidal. He was talking crazy. He's saying he was hearing voices in his head. There was no real system to get him off the street to see if he was schizophrenic or anything like that. He wound up dying. I saw the obituary, and I've had, 5-6 friends like this. It's no joke, and people are dying real young. They get put out on the street. Somebody sees them, and they see they're not going anywhere, and that they're just static, and that they can be preyed upon, and then they're in the obituary. And it's a very soulless society that we've built. It's based on gangsterism. It's based on robbery of taking other people's things. It's survival of the fittest. There's no love or acceptance that I've really. Well, I'm getting negative now, but I saw yesterday this happening again to another guy, and he was talking about how he was playing basketball, and he was came out here, joined a volleyball team, and now he's just doing the fentanyl, and someone came and they put like a pipe in his mouth, and it's bad. It's bad out here. And out here is everywhere in the West, like not just like one area of one city. It's like 11 countries. Like maybe not that severe. I think EU countries have it less than us. But I don't know. It's getting to a point where it's it is what it is, and I don't want it to be it is what it is. I want it to actually, I want people to be helped, and I don't know how to help them other than make this video, but this video is not going to help anybody, so seems like a waste of time. But anyways, I just thought I'd mention that. Everyone's been mentioning it too, but no one, there's nothing, I don't know. But anyways, God bless everybody.